Peace and love, Moors. Peace and love. We're here once again, Canaanland Moors class. It is the 23rd of February, and today we're going to be kind of all over the place to a degree. To a degree, we're going to be all over the place today. If there's any issues with video, audio, just leave a message in the chat and we'll go from there. But it's one of those ones where it's one of those. It's always something trying to kill the flex, but it's all good. They can try, they can attempt. Islam to all the Moors worldwide, peace and love to all. We are gonna start up today with some of the questions, because I've noticed, not as of late, but I've noticed that a lot of people like to troll Canaanland Moors YouTube videos, looking to stick in their little slick stuff, Mind you, these are people who, they don't care about Moors. They don't want to be Moors, but they're always on Moor stuff, commenting and being pains in the ass. So I decided that we're gonna take off some of these questions, from these trolls, and answer some of their questions. Since they like to come on Canaanland Moors stuff, let's address some of you trolls who like to come on Canaanland Moors and like to address BS. So some of these questions aren't from trolls, some of these are actually legit questions, but I'll let you know who the trolls are, so you know who's who when we start dealing with those ones. To start off today, first question, Islam Moor, I just got a job and they want to do a background check. I didn't use my SSN and I know that's how they check it. Is there a certain writ or statement I can give them stating my position? I have the IRS and SSN notice from RVB. Thank you for your time and insight. Well, you could look at it two ways. One way is that the people who you got the job from, they're not doing the background check. They're going to make the highwaymen do the background check. And when you go to the highwaymen, they're going to need whatever instrument, right? Because they could only do background check on corporate entities. Now, if you're somebody like myself who doesn't have no issues in the corporate side, then just do the background check. Big deal. Because nothing's going to come up when they do the background check. So let them check the background. Use the whatever. Reserve your rights. All rights reserved. UCC 1-103, UCC 1-207. We'll get the background check. It's really not that serious once you know how to live within contracts. If you're somebody who has stuff in the background that is going to prevent you from getting a job, then whatever writs that you see fit that need to be used, since you didn't give them an SSN anyways when you applied for the job, use whatever writs that you got to use, and exempt yourself from getting a background check, because really they're supposed to be hiring you because of whatever skill you have. Why do they need a background check? But like we always tell Moors, all the headaches that you have to deal with right now in 2016 when it comes to exercising your rights, be about 1/4% mad at the European and 3/4% mad at dirty Moors who didn't do their job for the past 100 years, which is why you're suffering right now and have to go through all this BS. Because if Moorish American was on the record as a nationality since 1913 when Noble Drew Ali came, and then by 1929 they're still calling people Negro and stuff like that, and there's no Moorish American box for you to check off, that's because dirty Moors didn't do what they're supposed to do, claiming to be leaders of this from the time Noble Drew Ali passed until now. That's who your battle really is with. Why is there no box for Moorish American on the application form of the job that you're going to? That's not Europeans' fault. That's Moors being passive fault. Why Moors become passive? Because dirty Moors were leading them. And dirty Moors taught Moors, go pay taxes, go get licenses, go get SSN numbers. Don't worry about HJR 192 and all that stuff. Don't worry about all that. This corporation is the government, and and put up the Moroccan flag and the Amity banner next to it. Who some more said put the Amity banner before the Moroccan flag. And now we're complaining. Now we got issues. Now there's all this stuff going on that we don't know how to deal with because of Moors. Not European. Because trust me, European knows about Moors. And the only reason why they give Moors a fight is because for 100 years we've been saying that we're black people. And now all of a sudden we're saying that we're Moors, and people must bow to the Moors now, when we haven't been Moors for 100 years, 80 years or whatever. But don't get mad. Take those blows. You know what I mean? Just like when you know that you did something wrong and you get your ass bust, don't get mad. Oh, Mom, I hate her, and I hate her guts and stuff like that. Don't get mad. You deserve to get your ass bust. Remember when Noble Drew Ali said to the Moors, I'm going to let the fire scorch some of you Moors, you good Moors, coattails. Consider this the fire scorching your coattails. So don't worry. Carry on. But don't get mad. And if you are going to get mad at dirty Moors. Because there should have been a box by now called Moorish American for you to check off. Because remember, Noble Drew Ali was Cherokee. He wasn't checking off no black Indian boxes on anything. Why? Because he's Aboriginal, indigenous to the land, and his duty as a Moor is to provide for himself, not go begging for anything. But unfortunately, because of dirty Moors, once again, we lost all the manufacturing companies, lost Unity Hall, all this stuff that the Moors had in their possession, lost. because dirty Moors wanted to play games with your birthright, and you let them. And now they're gray, supposed to be in the back. Noble Ali told the Moors, when the new Moors come, go in the back. They're still up front right now, still pretending like they have some type of authority with your birthright. That people are going to do background check. When as soon as you step in there on love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, there's your background check. Your background check's supposed to be, they're supposed to check your nationality. Oh, you're Moor? We don't need to check nothing from you because, according to Noble Drew Ali, you're living according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Nothing to check. That's what the background check's supposed to be. So, once again, they need the corporate name to do the background check because the background check is being done by corporate people. So, one, either you give up the stuff, learn to live within contracts, get your background check if your stuff's clean, because don't have a dirty background talking about go get a background check, because clearly you're not going to get the job, right? So you need to be honest with yourself. If your background's dirty, then start studying these writs, standing on the square that you are Moorish American, you have certain principles that you live by that disqualifies you from having to get a background check. And also go to the United Nations Declarations of Rights of Indigenous People, go through that and see if there's something in there with regard to the so-called state just going with what it is that indigenous people say and not even arguing anything. That's the best I can answer that, because for myself, like I said, my record's clean. I did dirt, but I ain't get caught for no dirt that I did, because ever since I was a little youth, man, I learned that if I'm doing dirt, do it by myself. Because when you start do dirt with people, there's always going to be somebody who's going to rat you out. Go watch all those mafia movies or whatever. It's these guys' own friend that rat them out and stuff like that. Right? Their own boy that rat them out. So, go right there. And Amor put in the chat that it's Article 23 in the UN Declaration of Human Rights. And then check, the UN Declaration of Human Rights and the UN Declaration of Indigenous Rights and use them together. Don't use one and not use the other. You can't use the human rights and not use the Aboriginal rights. But as Aboriginal, you can use both of them. And then as human, you can't use the Aboriginal rights, you have to use the human rights. But we're Aboriginal, so utilize both of them. Right? And that's the best that we could do with that one, because we have to accept the fact that certain people, and they're still around today, some of them even took off their fezzes and they're playing African and all that type of stuff with people. Some people, that's their position. You know what I mean? And it's like we say, don't get mad, get even. And the way you get even is standing on your birthrights at the risk of whatever you got to risk. Because that's just where we're at right now. We're not in the position to be, expecting stuff. Have zero expectations when dealing with anybody if you're saying that you're more. Zero expectations. Don't have any expectations on anybody. Make sure you study, and be what you know. Because expectations usually end up with you getting hurt or played or something like that, right? Brother Rami sent me an email with David Banner on Twitter talking about what I'm studying now. I could never post online. Even though Drew Ali said it took away all the secrets or whatever, people still playing secrets. They're conscious, but they're playing secrets with people. What I'm studying now, I could never post online. I will just say most of this shit is a lie. Get land, learn law, and grow food. That's David Banner. And then, another stuff that he put out, something, 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 is a reflection of some of my favorite moments that evening. At this time, a young man was answering a question that was posed, and it was almost like you could see DB see something in the young man. He quietly went over and asked the photographer for his camera and started capturing the moment. I've had the pleasure of seeing some pretty amazing speakers throughout my life, but the thing does it for me even more so than great oratorical skill is how a presenter relates to their audience. This man observed, responded appropriately, and chopped it up after. Hashtag the God box. Hashtag from what lens do you look at life? Hashtag invest. And David's Banner Twitter is David Banner Likes Pictures. And he left a comment for Miss Forte, MZ number 4 TAY. I love black people more than they will ever know. And he spelled more MOOR. That's David Banner. Just to put it out there, that he loves black people, but he loves them more than they know, and spelled more MOOR. You think these people aren't playing with your birthright? You think they don't know what's going on? You think they don't know what's going on? They love black people though. More MOOR than they know. Interesting. So we got one of these trolls by the name of Peel SHT Back. I don't get how man, Noble Drew Ali, is a manifest of the Most High exclusively. Ain't we all? Let's not create another prophet or higher being from God's creation. Why does every religious doctrine always have this? From the NOI to Moors to the Hebrews, it's like a cycle of man-made doctrines. Snap out of it. Now, again, it's interesting that people who don't got nothing to do with Moors, don't want nothing to do with Moors, always making comments on more stuff. Always. And when they start talking about this stuff about Moors are religious and all that stuff, slap these people 2 times, right? Slap them twice. Because being a Moor has nothing to do with religion. Being a Moor is bloodline. And if everybody is a manifest of the Most High, where is it that Moors say that Noble Drew Ali is the exclusive representative of the Most High and nobody else is Allah and man? Where is it that it says that? Where? Nowhere. So make sure that when you're engaging people and you know that you're a Moor, when people start talking BS, slap them 2 times. Because this is not the time right now for people to give their mere opinion of things that they don't know. No different than people giving opinions of Holy Quran of Moor Science Temple and never read the book. No different than people giving opinions of Noble Drew Ali and don't know his birthday. No different people giving opinions of, fixing cars and they're not mechanic. Shut these people up as soon as they start talking. Don't even let them talk. Immediately shut these people up. Religious doctrines. There's no such thing as religious doctrines. There's no religious doctrines. The etymology of religion is to tie you back to something. And no so-called religion that's out there is qualified to be called religion. All of them are dogma. Why is the Moor Science Temple of America religious? Because Noble Drew Ali even told the Moors, go back to the state of mind of your ancient foremothers and forefathers. Doesn't that mean tie you back? All right, so this is religious. But it's also civic. It's also constitutional. It's also metaphysical. It's also esoteric and occult. So don't be fooled thinking that, this is some Islamic BS. And all we do is salat and pray to Allah and stuff like that. That's not what this is. Right? There's a reality about this that is supposed to get the individual that is studying this. They're supposed to take this information, and when they digest this information, civic, occult, metaphysical, religious, etc. information, it's supposed to raise them from their lower self to their higher self. And when they are at the level of their higher self, then they be what they know. Not be what you know when you're not at your higher self yet. That's why Drew Ali said study, study, study. That's why Drew Ali said it's going to take y'all 50 years to find out what I brought you. And 50 years are going to pass by and you wouldn't even know that I was here. But we know that he's here now. So we have the onus is on us now to do something with this, because certain people had this and didn't do anything with it for a very long time. Right? Moors always want to make sure that our people are receiving this information in the correct context so it can do something for them. Right? So it can do something for them. This is not just some information that you get and you're not supposed to do anything with it. You're supposed to get this information and do something with it. Whether you go tell somebody else, whether you apply it, whether, but it's not some stuff you just sit on just because you got it. Oh yeah, I got it, so I'm going to sit on this. Right? You have to do something with this information. And if you choose to do nothing with this information, you're no different than the Moors from 80 years ago that took this information and sat on it. And now we're in the situation where people still call themselves Negro and stuff like that today. We're in the situation where Moors now are going to go abandon their birthright, and they're going to go get Cherokee national tribal plates that come from the Department of State, talking about they're exercising sovereignty. Why are you exercising sovereignty when a corporation gave you your plates? No different than so-called Indians exercising sovereignty, or their sovereign nation or whatever like that, but they have a card that they got from the state that makes them tax exempt. And they're talking about their sovereign corporation give them tax exemption number. And keep in mind that Noble Drew Ali is Cherokee, and never ever once did he say that he's Cherokee. Never ever once did he classify himself as part of the Bureau of Indian Affairs. Never ever once did he claim to be something other than Moor. And then go do your research on this same so-called people who named Cherokee that said they don't want black people in their stuff and kicked out black people. Right? How are you a nation and a tribe? It's a apparent contradiction. That you're a nation, you're a Cherokee nation that's tribal. Right? Black's Law Dictionary. Incompetency. Incompetency. Lack of ability, legal qualification, or fitness to discharge the required duty. In New York, the word incompetency is used to designate the condition or legal status of a person who is unable or unfitted to manage his own affairs by reason of insanity, imbecility, or feeble-mindedness, and for whom therefore a committee may be appointed, and such a person is designated as incompetent. Incompetent. And these are the people that have the most stuff to say about Moorish nationality, about Noble Drew Ali, about sovereignty, about the Fez, about Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple. The incompetent people, the feeble-minded, imbecile, insane people. And they're so insane that they don't look like my shirt, but they're black people though. And black power. And black is the corresponding of the universal whatever. BS. Right? We'll big up to Brother Rami for putting this one up. There's Dirk Nowitzki with his Kenyan wife. Right? Now, if she's Kenyan, and then Dirk's German, and then he's dressing like a Kenyan, but he has a fez on, and she's Kenyan, that means that she's qualifying his dress code. Because obviously, they're not dressed like Germans. Right? So she's qualifying his dress code. He's Kenyan. For all the people who say that, oh, they're African, but they're not Moors. Okay, well, you know that fezzes are relative to Moors. Right? You know that fezzes are relative to Moors. And then she's Kenyan. And if fezzes had nothing to do with Kenya, they wouldn't be wearing fezzes. Because Kenya clearly isn't Turkey. According to some people, you know, fez comes from Turkey and Ottoman Empire, crap like that. Just go check how far Kenya is from Turkey. And ask yourself the question, how the hell did Turks get to Kenyans? Is there any relationship between Turks and Kenyans? Did Kenya ever get conquered by Turks, where the Turks imposed their culture on them? Just go check the record, just for yourself, so you can see for yourself. Just check the record for yourself, just to be sure. Right? Just to be sure. Since people have so much, you know, they got so much to say about Moors when they're not Moors. But they got the most stuff to say. They got the most comments. Right? Bobby Velo. Velo, whatever. Can you rebuttal the research Brother Reggie gave in his last video on Dred Scott? Can you show me the link to the Dred Scott case in relevance to being a Moor? Can you show me the name of the brother who was on trial in the Amistad case having a bay in it with references? Can you also show me verified documents on the origin of the word Delaware in regards to it coming from de la Moors? Well, one thing is we'll deal with the Dred Scott case. As far as any Amistad and de la Moors or whatever, go ask those naturalizing Moors those stuff. Don't put all Moors in the same stuff thinking that all Moors are the same. There's dirty Moors, then there's Moors that are sticking to the principles that Noble Drew Ali laid down. The Moors that were in that little video talking about they chopped the head off Reggie or whatever like that, those Moors are dirty Moors because they naturalize people. So if you got questions for them, go on their stuff and go leave comments on their stuff. Don't be asking me about no dirty Moors. With regard to Dred Scott case, we'll add this. We'll put this on the record. Because, you know, people, everybody knows something about Moors, but they're not Moors. They always got some damn comment. They always got something to say with regard to Moors. Plaintiff, a person who brings an action, the party who complains or sues in a personal action and is so named on the record. Plaintiff in error, which is what Dred Scott's position was. Now we don't even have to go into the goddamn case. Just look in the law dictionary and look up plaintiff in error, which is what Dred Scott was distinguished as in his case. Plaintiff in error. Plaintiff in error. The party who sues out a writ of error to review a judgment or other proceeding at law. The party who sues out a writ of error to review a judgment or other proceeding at law. The writ of error by Dred Scott was an error because there's no way that Asiatic that says that he's free would have the name Scott. Real simple. Scott is not the name of Asiatics. So the writ of error was an error. And Judge Taney told these Negroes that the white man doesn't have to respect anything that you people say. Why? How come? Oh, because of racism and, you know, they don't want a slave to have nothing. No, because you can't be talking about free stuff when your status is not legitimate. When your status is civilly dead. Which Dred Scott's status is civilly dead. The other example of plaintiff in error. The other example of plaintiff in error that we'll go to right now, and we'll show you that they backed up the plaintiff in error position. Philosophies and Opinions of Marcus Garvey. All you black guys, Negro, colored, conscious people, you have this, right? And page 150, United States Circuit Court of Appeals for the Second Circuit, Marcus Garvey, plaintiff in error. Why is the plaintiff in error? Let's go ask the Department of Justice, who is, the puppet justice that is under the jurisdiction of the puppet president, who these puppets called Garveyites decided to write letters to on behalf of Marcus Garvey because he's trying to help all the Negroes and you can't do this because he's our Negro president and all stuff like that. This is what Department of Justice had to say with regard to these fools that don't want to recognize that if your status is in error, you can't issue or file a writ of error if your status is an error, because it means that you're incompetent, imbecility. To Marcus Garvey, United States Penitentiary, Atlanta, Georgia. Right? So, remember, it was the Garveyites that sent the petition to the president to get Marcus Garvey exonerated of his charges because, he's the black guys, he's the Negroes representative. He came to help the Negroes get out of the Negro stuff. How come they didn't write them back? How come they sent the response to Garvey, and then Garvey was the one that had to let the people know that you guys need to try again because the stuff got denied or whatever, right? And this is page 272. The reply, Office of the Attorney in Charge of Pardons, Department of Justice, de facto, Washington, D.C., de facto. Sir, the reports upon the application for executive clemency of yourself. Executive clemency of yourself. Why would they call him yourself? Why would they call him Marcus Garvey? Because he doesn't have no status as Marcus Garvey. So they call you goddamn anything that they want and treat you any way that they want to treat you. It's real simple when it comes to recognizing that status is the first issue at law. Right? The reports upon the application for clemency of yourself are adverse or of such a nature as not to entitle the case under the rules governing the applications for pardon to submission to the President for consideration. This disposes of the case, and the papers have accordingly been filed. Rule 8 reads as follows. When none of the persons so consulted advises clemency, the papers are not sent to the President except by his special request or by special order of the Attorney General. But when any one of the officers consulted advises clemency, the papers are submitted to the President by direction of the Attorney General, who's the guy who signs the birth certificate and stuff like that. Respectfully, James something, Attorney in charge of pardons. Now, we told people that who want to deny that Marcus Garvey knew what was up and told the Garveyites what's up. He knew what was up and told the Garveyites. Did they listen to him? No, but they honor him. Just like they honor, they love Malcolm X so much, but he was wrong for calling out Elijah Muhammad as a pedophile. He shouldn't have did that because he had 14-year-old girls and stuff like that. He shouldn't have called out Elijah because he taught him, and why is he calling him out as a pedophile? But they love Malcolm X, though. They love him so much. Oh, they love Malcolm X so much, but they never call him El Haj Malik Al-Shabazz, which is what his name is. Oh, but, L's in there. He didn't go get that from the Turks or nothing like that. But they're not going to recognize him. They're not going to recognize his status. But they're going to recognize the dead status of Malcolm X, which is a fraudulent position. They're going to recognize the dead status. They're going to recognize, Khalid, he went against crackers and all that stuff. They're not going to recognize that he said that I'm a Moor, and that he has sense enough to know that he's a Moor, and that he knows his roots. He's not Kunta Kinte, which means he didn't come from no goddamn Africa. He's from here. But they're not going to listen to that. They're going to play their little game, right? That they honor these people. They honor Dr. Ben, but they're not going to recognize that he has a doctorate in Moorish history from the University of Spain. Right? But they honor Dr. Ben, honor John Henry Clark and all that, even though John Henry Clark told these people that black is some BS, Negro is some BS, and colored is some BS. And anybody following that stuff is talking BS. They're not going to go there. They're going to go talk about all the stuff that he talked about when he had sight. About Arabs and slave trades and stuff like that. The Moors enslaved people, but they're not going to talk about him echoing the same thing that Noble Drew Ali told these people in 1913, that you're not Negro, black, colored. This is some BS. Page 268, Philosophies and Opinion, just to put it on the record again, since people don't like to read and they like to play these games that, they're for the community of people and all that stuff, but they don't want to recognize that they've been given their salvation by all their so-called master teachers, but they want to debate Moors. And they want to nitpick at stuff Moors do, but they want to correct their status. They want to stay stateless. Page 268, Philosophies and Opinions of Marcus Garvey. And just to get this was from the letter written to the Garveyites. The letter written to the Garveyites by Marcus Garvey himself in the application for pardon, United States Federal Prison, Atlanta, Georgia. Page 268. Because the Negro is not happy and will never be until he is restored to his own nationality, and my ability to continue my work on this behalf will bless the nation, for as Thomas Paine says, no man can be happy surrounded by those whose happiness he has destroyed. Because the Negro is not happy and will never be until he is restored to his own nationality. And then they have all the pictures, all the Garveyites, they have all the pictures of Marcus Garvey dressed like an admiral. And then admiral comes from Amir, and Amir is Arabic and Hebrew. Arabic and Hebrew. Amir is a Hebrew word as well as an Arabic word. means commander, prince, and all those titles that Moors are honored to wear with pride. They ain't dressing like no black African king. Dressed like an admiral. Marcus Garvey talking all this nationhood, and you think that he didn't know what was up? He's talking nationhood, and then keep in mind Africa is synonymous with Moor, and he was talking about the African stuff all the time. What was he really saying? He was trying to get dumb niggers to realize where they were in the time where they were, and spoke accordingly. Go check the record. Noble Drew Ali, 1913. Marcus Garvey, 1914. So people could play games all they want, but ain't no way that he's dressing like an admiral and doesn't know that admiral comes from emir, which is a Moorish title for commander. And then go look at all the Drew Ali pictures and you're going to see him giving you the same death stare. Because he's not playing no goddamn games. Just go check the Drew Ali pictures. You get the same death stare. Because you can't play games. Thomas Fleming. In my neighborhood, there were probably more West Indian than American-born blacks. They wanted to succeed in America and were very industrious, both husbands and wives, always trying to start small businesses. They were looking ahead with the goal of attaining naturalization so they could vote. I heard a lot about him, and then I started seeing him. They used to have parades along 7th Avenue frequently. 7th Avenue. Garvey would always be standing up in a big open-top car with his immediate aides riding with him. He dressed like an admiral. He wore one of those cockade hats that admirals wear and a uniform. Right? Now let's just see for a bit. Just check some things here. Now Morion helmet. Morion helmet. The iconic Morion, though popularly identified with Spanish explorers and conquistadors, was not in use as early as the conquest of Mexico at the hands of Hernan Cortes or Francisco Pizarro's conquest of the Incas in South America. 30 to 40 years later, it was widely used by the Spanish, but also common among foot soldiers of many European nationalities, including the English. The first English morions were issued during the reign of Edward the Sixth. Low production costs aided its popularity, and dissemination through officers and elite guards would have theirs elaborately engraved to display their wealth and status. The crest or comb on the top of the helmet was designed to strengthen it. Later versions also had cheek guards and even removable faceplates to protect the soldier from sword cuts. The Morion shape is derived from that of an older helmet, the chapelle de fer or kettle hat. Other sources suggest it was based on Moorish armor, and its name is derived from moro, the Spanish word for Moor. The New Oxford American Dictionary, however, derives it from Spanish morion, M-O-R-R-I-O-N, from moro, M-O-R-R-O, round object. The Dictionary of the Spanish Language published by the Royal Spanish Academy indicates that the Spanish term for helmet, morion, derived from the noun mora, which means upper part of the head. So this concept, this helmet concept, we're looking at our culture, right? Conquistador helmets that, they adopted later. All right. The saga of Morion. He was all black, even as I tell ye, his head, his body, and his hands were all black, saving only his teeth. His shield and his armor were even those of a Moor, and black as a raven. And they not heard him call upon God, no man had dared face him, deemed that he was a devil or one of his fellows out of hell, for that his steed was so great, and he was taller even than Sir Lancelot. When the Moor heard these words, he laughed with heart and mouth. His teeth were white as chalk, otherwise he was altogether black. Now, if we speak about helmets being relative to the Moors, and then knights being relative to the Moors, we can come to the conclusion that, and remember the Knights of the Round Table, Sir Morion, and all these different people who we in our ignorance or in our incompetency thought these are European stuff. But then you come to realize that the story, the history of knights and wearing armor and stuff like that comes from the Moors. And then we do our research on the crest, the blackamoor crest that you can find in J.A. Rogers' Nature Knows No Color Line. Then he shows all the crests of all these blackamoor heads. And then when you look up blackamoor heads today, the family crests of Europe, you find out that all these blackamoor crests, the Moor head was taken off and the knight's helmet was put on the crest in the same place. So if you go check the Moorish crest, family name crest of Europe, you'll find that these family crests had Moors heads on them. And then when you check the modern family crests with the same name, you'll see that the Moor's head is replaced with a helmet, a knight's helmet to be specific, with the little thing that comes down and all that stuff, flowers on it, you know what I mean, looking real similar to the Admiral hat. So these people say that they honor Marcus Garvey. You know, he's their black guy. You know, back him, the black guy. Gonna back Garvey because, you know, he came to, you know, teach them how to do trade. Black Starliner, RBG flag. But how come none of them never went to look up the family name Garvey to see that They got the shield with the helmet on it, which lets you know that that used to be a Moor head right there. Not only that, they also have the so-called Iron Cross. Now you see the Nazis use. Now why is, Iron Cross on the stuff that the Nazis use? And it's on this crest for the last name Garvey, which, keep in mind, the knight's head replaced the blackamoor that used to be on this crest. Hugh the Pain, or Paynes Amor, Huguesdepayens, or Paynes Amor, Paynsa more, just like blackamoor. Instead of black, put Paynes there. 1070 to 1136 was the co-founder and first Grand Master of the Knights Templar, who was descended from Tirad de Payne, Tirad de Payne, who was curiously called the Moor of Gardil. So the founder of the Knights Templar was known as Payne Amor, founder of the Knights Templar. But he's also descendant of somebody that was curiously called the Moor of Gardil. And then when you look up Knights Templar, you're going to see that Knights Templar has this same cross and reps this same cross because it's really Moorish culture. So now, when you also look at the Nazis, you know that they use the swastika, which is the reverse of another symbol from Moorish culture that they use in the East. No wonder they're going to say Garvey was in error, plaintiff in error, because it's a documented fact that historically he goes back to the descendants that we call ourselves today Moors. Garvey goes back to that. This is the crest right here, the family name Garvey. So the Moor, Marcus Garvey, was picked up by Noble Drew Ali and affectionately called the forerunner of the Prophet. So this is end of time and fulfilling of the prophecies. Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple. These are some of the sections that you're not going to find in the Aquarian Gospel or Unto Thee I Grant. These are some of the prepared stuff for the Moors that Noble Drew Ali, with his own five senses, his own mindset, put on paper so that the Moors could have some power so that the Moors can see that there's this cord that connects every living thing to every living thing. And all these people trying to separate these two men to make you think that they're not relative. Anybody telling you that Marcus Garvey and Noble Drew Ali are not relative is a fraud and is cheating you out of your birthright. Because 268, Marcus Garvey told all the Garveyites when he wrote them from Atlanta prison that the Negro will not be happy until he is restored to his own nationality. And remember, the Negro is specific to the Americas. There's no Negroes in Africa. There's no Negroes in Egypt. There's no Negroes in Kemet. There's no Negroes in Kush. There's no Negroes in any of these places that these so-called Negro black colored people say that they come from. Ain't no Negroes there. The Negro is specific to the Americas. Specifically North America. Because even in South America, you say Negro to somebody who speaks Spanish and they'll probably take your head. And trust me, I know people who are from South America at the school where I work at. They're from there. And I've asked them, are they Negro? And they say that is an insult. Don't call them that. Said, don't call me that. Do not identify me or anybody else that speaks Spanish Negro, because they take that as an insult. Is that like saying nigger? I don't know. But if you say Negro, people take that as being highly offensive. The end of time and fulfilling of prophecies. And then also recognize the fraud of trying to improve the Negro. Now keep in mind, just like Malcolm X, who said, forget Malcolm X, I'm Malik El-Shabazz. Just like Khalid, who said, I got sense enough to know that I'm a Moor. Marcus Garvey is the same. They had a limited degree of knowledge. They found out about the history that Noble Drew Ali presented and immediately changed their tune. And Garveyites were supposed to change their tune, but they chose not to. They chose to still push Universal Negro Improvement Association when you cannot improve the Negro. The Negro is unimprovable, if that's a word. You're not improving the Negro. It's not happening. Never, ever, ever gonna happen that you improve the Negro. That's why he told these people that the Negro is not gonna be happy until he's restored to his own nationality, which that nationality that he was restored to by Noble Drew Ali is Moorish American, and you're descendants of Moors. Anybody that is classified as black, Negro, or colored. The end of time and fulfilling of the prophecies. The last prophet in these days is Noble Drew Ali, who was prepared divinely in due time by Allah to redeem men from their sinful ways, and to warn them of the great wrath which is sure to come upon the earth. John the Baptist was the forerunner of Jesus in those days, to warn and stir up the nation and prepare them to receive the divine creed which was to be taught by Jesus. In these modern days there came a forerunner, and forerunner that was divinely prepared by the great God Allah, and his name is Marcus Garvey, who did taught and warn the nations of the earth to prepare to meet the coming prophet, who was to bring the true and divine creed of Islam. And his name is Noble Jew Ali, who was prepared and sent to this earth by Allah to teach the old-time religion and the everlasting gospel to the sons of men, that every nation shall and must worship under their own vine and fig tree, and return to their own and be one with their Father God Allah. So the forerunner of the Moorish movement told the people, the only way you're going to be happy is if you're restored to your nationality. The only way you're going to be happy. They claim that they honor him. They claim that they rep him. They're going to fly flag and all that stuff. But they're not going to recognize that he told them that they better get their restored nationality. Right? Now, Now this is of Europa. And then anybody who's incompetent is going to say, see, she's black. Yeah, clearly. Clearly she's black. But Europa was a Phoenician. She didn't call herself black. She called herself Phoenician. So, to claim that she's black is incompetency. Because, like John Henry Clark told these people, black tells you how you look, but it doesn't tell you who you are. So you're going to say that you're black? Okay? But Europa is Phoenician. If she's Phoenician, then she's not black. Black is just describing her. Just like our people claiming that they're black. That's just describing you. Who are you? You know, you're a nigger. Yeah, but from where? Where you from, nigger? You not from somewhere? You're not from somewhere. You're just black. You're just black floating around. You're just African. Okay, well, here's a terracotta vase that's identified as an African Moor. Yeah, the vase is black. See, we're black. No, this is a Moor. No matter how black it is, it's a Moor from Africa. African Moor. That's black. Black's describing Africa is the geographical location, but who he is a Moor. Who he is a Moor. They can fight it all they want. But anybody that's classified as black, Negro, colored, or African is a Moor. And take it from a grand sheik, Kujoado El, and a grand governor, and a divine minister, that you don't have to be part of a temple to be a Moor. You don't have to be part of Moorish Science Temple of America to be a Moor. Now, if you want to be a member of the Moorish Science Temple, no problem. But according to divine constitution and bylaws of the Moorish Science Temple of America, which if you become a member, you would have to adhere to the laws of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Act 6, with us, all members must proclaim their nationality. And then Noble Drew Ali, in the 101 questionnaire, told the people what their nationality was. Moorish American. So the trick that these sellout Moors pulled is to make you think that when you come to the Moorish Science Temple of America and you proclaim your nationality, you did that because the Moorish Science Temple in Act 6 did making you Moorish American. No, Noble Drew Ali told you you're Moorish American. That's your nationality. He didn't say you come to the temple to be that. He said that you're not Negro, black, colored, or Ethiopian, because those names were given to slaves by slaveholders in 1779 and lasted until 1865. So you're Moorish American. Now you want to help in the uplifting works of uplifting fallen humanity, waking up these mental slaves, zombies out here, then if you have race pride and love your race, join the Moorish Science Temple of America. When you join, though, you're going to have to proclaim your nationality. With us, all members must proclaim their nationality. That's why when the Chinese people came and joined the Moorish Science Temple, they proclaimed their Moorish nationality, Chinese. When the Turks came and joined the Moorish Science Temple, they claimed their nationality, Turk. When the whoever else, Japanese came, joined the Moorish Science Temple of America, they claimed their nationality, Japanese. And they assisted in the uplifting acts of all of Muslims. So the people that are classified as Negro, black, colored, the people classified as Negro, black, colored assume that they are something that they're not. Right? Jarrell Wilson, Canaanland Moors, I understand your premise. I'm sure you have knowledge, brother, but the fact remains the same. Not every African, Afrakam, we really need to know where you get that from. We really need to know. Show me somewhere on the planet where there's a place called Afrakam. Africam consider themselves a Moor, or any one title as a whole. If so, please show and prove your facts or truths. Black relates to cosmic consciousness and correspondence, not just a color, but a characteristic, an electric magnetic coupling. Asar, the god of the perfect black, but Asar was green. So if Asar is the god of the perfect black, but he's green, then clearly he's not black. So you're talking about cosmic connection of correspondence of whatever. When Asar was green, you go check the records Go check the hieroglyphics and you find me a black Asar. Because according to my studies in ancient Egyptology, Asar is green. And if Asar is green, then he's not black. And if Asar is green, that goes right in line with what Noble Drew Ali told the Moors, that your complexion is olive. Because they got green olives. But they also got brown olives. And they got black olives. But black olives aren't called black. They're called olives. Brown olives aren't called brown. They're called olives. Green olives are not called green. They're called olives. But you don't want to deal with the facts that's in nature. You want to tell me about some cosmic consciousness and correspondence of some BS that you people made up. You can play that game in your little conscious group or whatever, but I would like to see you go out here to some highwayman, tell him that you are the cosmic consciousness and correspondence of something, and see how far that gets you. I would like you to take that position, not just on your little BS black forums, social media, little lectures that you guys do or whatever like that. Take that into the world. Like Moors take the fact that we're Moors into the world. We're not just in a little Moorish corner saying that we're Moors. We go out into the world with our fezzes on. It appears that only in this so-called conscious community is where you can say that you're African people, you can say that you're black, you can say that you're African. That's not anything in the world. And if that is the position that you're taking, we would love to hear from you African people, you Kemetic people, right? We already Islam to the Hebrew Moors that had enough guts to put it on the record that Hebrews are Moors. It's on YouTube. Go watch it. Message to the Hebrew Israelites. And listen to a Hebrew Moor tell you that Hebrew Israelites are Moors and that you can't be a Hebrew Israelite because you're not born a Hebrew Israelite. It's because you're not born a Hebrew Israelite. You're not born a Moor. Well, Moor is any dark-skinned person, especially African Negro. How am I? What do you mean I'm not born a Moor? I was born looking how I look. And how I look qualifies me to be a Moor. Asar is the god of the perfect black, not related to status or chattel property, but the people of the land. Really? So black's not related to chattel property, but Dred Scott, who considered himself black, was plaintiff in error, lost the case. Noble Drew Ali, he considered himself Negro, which is Spanish for black, lost the case. Well, Moors lose cases. Okay, but Moors aren't going to courts. Moors are going to tribunals. Moors are going to jurisdictions that have no delegated of authority to even hear stuff, so they can say whatever the hell they want. Well, go check Dred Scott case. He wasn't in some traffic court. Dred Scott wasn't in traffic court. No, since you guys like to bring up courts, don't even know what the hell you're talking about, right? And then keep in mind that, you know, this guy, Jarrell Wilson, has L in his name, but he's not gonna hear that. You know, you got L in your name? Well, you know, they're gonna find every way to not deal with the fact that he has L in his name. Which means, you know, I mean, Yeah, if L's in your name, then L is Canaanite God. Then L is a Moorish title of nobility. No, you tell me you're not Moor when you got L in your name. But they're gonna play like they know something when they're incompetent, right? When they're incompetent, I want to talk stuff to Moors when they can't even show me some papers or a card or whatever that proves that they're black from them. Don't show me some stuff that you got from European or whatever. Show me some stuff that you made up that says that you're African, that you have used that, just like we show people receipts or whatever to show, yeah, we use 88222141, which is on our nationality card. You can't just go to a store and say that and they're just going to give you taxes off. No, they want to see the card to verify that that number corresponds with an individual that's relative to a nation that is Aboriginal and Indigenous in order to get taxes off. None of these individuals to date have brought a black card, well, unless it's, some black credit card crap, right? They never brought a Negro card, colored card, African card, chematology card, Hebrew Israelite card. They never brought none of that to prove their position. But, Moors who have nationality cards, oh no, they're not going with that. They don't want to hear that. That's not real. That doesn't work. The European, show me one treaty that the European followed. No, sorry, show me one treaty the white man followed. Because, the white man broke every treaty. Well, the fact that you're calling him white man gives him jurisdiction to break the treaty. Why are you calling him white man? You call him white man, you're calling him sovereign. So why would he honor a treaty if you're calling him the name of the individual who created the treaty, which means you're giving him jurisdiction to not follow the treaty? Because, if he knows that the treaty is against him, that, Section 21, if you should wound or order more, you're going to get whatever, okay, but then you're going to call them the name that gives them authority to not follow the treaty. And then use the fact that they're not following the treaty when you just gave them the jurisdiction to not have to follow the treaty. And European knows this, that you can do research on the Uyghur Party to know that Europeans started calling themselves white in order to have the status. They didn't just come up with that all of a sudden. They started to call themselves white because white was a status. And then they put white over the door and white by the fountain, and then Negroes went with it. Instead of going and drinking from the white fountain, they don't drink from the black fountain when they're brown, showing incompetency again. And want to know how come they get what they get and why they're still getting what they get. But they're going to talk BS on YouTube and Facebook comments and stuff like that. But, when it comes down to the get down of, okay, well, prove your claim. Prove to me that you're black. Show me something. Prove to me that you're Hebrew Israelite. Nah, Yahweh has my stuff. I don't have to prove nothing because Yahweh has my nationality. I don't need to prove nothing. Yeah, but the Hebrew Moor over there, he has a nationality card that says that he's Moor. So, I don't understand. Well, the black, but Khalid was black power. He said that he's Moor. What do you mean? What are you talking about? Your black consciousness corresponding with the universal whatever. But, I'm going to play their little game. Right? Sabotage. I am studying now. I was wondering while I was studying, when we get it together and turn this thing back around, are we going to take it back? I mean, in ways like the US corporation won't be doing business here and the Europeans won't be here in these numbers. Well, if you had a nationality and you were studying, you would know that majority of Europeans who are here, they live in the hood and stuff just like you do. And anybody else, all their finance is in some offshore stuff, which means they don't live here. They live where their fiat is. They're not going to have some account on some goddamn offshore somewhere and be living here. They're here occupying. They're not living here. Go check the graphs that these so-called U.S. corporation people have showing all these so-called Europeans renouncing their U.S. citizenship and going back to some European country. The graph's going like this. Well, why are they still hearing these numbers? They're hearing these numbers because you jackasses want to be black people. They're hearing these numbers because you jackasses want to be Africans. Want to be continents and adjectives. You don't just see that they shut down all Walmart stores? What do you think they're shutting down all these stores for? You think that they're here shutting down stores? What do you think Target and all these stores closing down for? You think they're just... Why do you think they're trying to implement red light cameras and stuff like that? Oh yeah, we wanna bring red light cameras, so we can take some pressure off of the police officers. They don't got no police officers. Everybody's leaving here. The only people that's gonna be here are Asiatics. Asiatics from India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Asiatics from the Philippines, Asiatics from Japan, China, etc. And they're buying everything up around here. And our people want to play colored people. Our people want to play that they're a fiction. Oh, they're stateless, so it doesn't matter. We call ourselves whatever we want. You're not going to get away with that stuff with Chinese people. You might get away with that crap with some Europeans who stole your birthright. But when they go from here and Mr. Chin is ruling here, don't think that they're playing this stateless stuff. Don't think that you got jobs and stuff like that. Mr. Chin is only hiring his own. Mr. Hindu is only hiring his own. They're not hiring no niggers or whatever. Keep playing around. Think that this shit isn't falling on you. Keep playing around. And again, trust me, where I work at is adult school. And all the people who go to this adult school, they have nationalities. There's no Africans. There's Ghanaians, Nigerians, Zimbabweans, Congolese, Kenyans. They know Africans coming from the continent over here. They know yellow people and brown people coming over here. They have nationalities. And they're learning English. And they're taking all the little programs that the Negroes don't want to take. All the little programs to get their foot in the door to college or university, they're taking, and the Negroes are taking cooking and personal service worker and BS like that. Because a Negro, the personal service worker, their duty is to be somebody's slave, wiping people's ass because they're crippled. That's the job that the black people are going for. And the Filipinos and the non-English speaking people who come here, they're taking the programs that They're going to come here, go to school with their no English or whatever like that, right? Leave the adult school and go to college or university through a program. But the Negroes want to be personal service worker. Learn how to make up bed for old Europeans. They want to be nurse. Think that this stuff's not falling on you Negroes? Don't worry, Moors are straight because all these people know who the Moors are. They know who the Moors are. It's not some stuff that we're talking about or whatever. These people know who the Moors are. You tell a Filipino Moro, they know exactly what you're talking about, who you're talking about, and that they back those people. Why? Because the Moros, according to so-called Filipino people, the Moros are the people who are fighting for the land and they're the indigenous people of the Philippines. And we support them because they're the first people. Aita Aita, the black-headed people. Go ask Filipino. They'll tell you. They're not even going to lie to you. They will tell you. But when Moors say love, it seems like our country is still going to be just like it is now. I even heard Rami A. Salam El say he's going to vote for Bernie Sanders, but I thought the government was operating in a de facto status. I don't know. It just seems like everyone is not noticing that when I smell water, I could smell the poison in it. That's the same water I bathe in, and there's gender-changing chemicals in our food. How come Chinese aren't turning gay when they drink the water? How come Hindus and Japanese and all these other Asiatics or whatever, that they got the same tap and they're turning the same faucet or whatever that you have, how come they're not getting tainted? How come they're not complaining about the water smells like whatever, the brown water coming out? Because they got nationality. Once you have a nationality, that changes the vibration around you. And when the vibration changes around you, then, ancestors will work with you. Real simple. Nationality is the order of the day, not because of your dead status only. That's why we did the Skype with Brother Denham L. Why is divine before national? Why is this a divine and then a national movement? Because nationality is a divine thing. Nationality is not some civic thing. And even Moors tell you, we go with the national because if we start talking about people are vampires and, that it's real like that out here, they think that we're crazy people. More start talking about there's really entities out here. Right, look at Sister Amatullah. There's a sister named Amatullah on Facebook. And then when she does her meditation videos or whatever, all you see is orbs just flying around the freaking place. There's orbs just flying around. You think there's no spirits right now? Working with people who are in tune with the universe? Do you think the ancestral forces aren't working with the people who take all their stones? You know what I mean? The people got Poppy Show, got stones on, and I'm conscious, they got stones on, but full moon comes, you're not going to put your stones out to go get charged up? You're not going to put those on the windowsill? You're not going to put those in a glass bowl in some water outside? Because, the moon is the water, right? The moon activates water. So it's a full moon. You got stones, but you're not going to put the stones in water and then put those on the windowsill or outside so the full moon could radiate those? And you tell me about powerful and all that stuff? The hell out of here. Just conscious coon. Front and conscious. Oh, you're African. Doesn't matter what we call ourselves or whatever. Oh, yeah, all right. We keep playing that game. Oh, yeah. And sabotage. Don't forget. Don't be coming on Canaanland Moors questioning other Moors. You have question for Rami Salam El? Go on Rami Salam El's stuff and question him on his stuff so he can answer you. Right? Because trust me, he's not voting for no Bernie Sanders because they ain't nobody to vote for, or, you know, oh, that's a European, Moors are down with the European. No, Moors deal with principles. Moors deal with who's vibrating on the frequency. Only Negro, black, colored people watch complexion. You're not dealing with complexion. Moors don't deal with how you look. It's how you act. And the most backward ass people are conscious people. Because they don't even know who the hell they are. But they're conscious. But they don't know who they are. Always trolling on our stuff. Wanna make goddamn comments. Right? I love my brothers. This is Dominique Imhotep. Right? This is Dominique Imhotep. But then, okay. You're not even gonna, right? You got Imhotep, but it's Dominique. How conscious are you that you call yourself Dominique, but you know what Imhotep is? You diss the ancestors, attach Dominique to Imhotep? Talk about somebody supposed to respect that? Plaintiff in error. I love my brothers, but stop the lies. Moors didn't exist at the time of Nubia, or did the land of Canaan. Matter of fact, Canaan is an offspring, and at that time, they still weren't called Moors or Moorish. Or did they study a circle 7? Ma'at was everywhere at that time. Stop denying your history, my brother. Ain't no goddamn denying no history, nigger. That's called 42 laws of Ma'at back there on a Moor's wall. Why is 42 laws of Ma'at on a Moor's wall? Because we're taught that we have to recite those every single day because that's our culture. That's our culture. We're not some freaking deny our ancestors like you people. We know about ancient Egyptian culture. We know about ancient Egyptian culture. We know about Ma'at. That's why we study law, because Ma'at is law. Ma'at is the scales of justice. How's Ma'at the scales of justice? How's so-called Europeans now are going to have the lady blindfolded holding the scales of justice, which is Ma'at, but then you're going to tell Moors that we're following white man stuff when white man's following Kemet stuff. Like what are you guys talking about? How are you going to say that Moors are following white man stuff, but the white man is following ancient Egyptian stuff? Doesn't that mean Moors are following ancient Egyptian stuff if we're following the white man? Oh no, that's okay, all right. You know, play your little goddamn game, right? Do your little BS. It's all right, because trust me, time's gonna come when y'all gonna have to face the fire, and you're gonna be on your own facing that fire right there, right? And don't be calling no Moors. Oh, come on, you guys said that you're gonna help your brother. Oh, no, don't even try that crap. You know, because remember, you know, with us, all members must proclaim their nationality. Have you proclaimed their nationality? No, sorry, you're not my brother, and I don't see you in adversity. You're just another nigger. Because you've been supposed to proclaim your nationality. Garvey told you, Khalid told you, Dr. Ben told you, Henrik Clark told you, Ivan Van Sertima told you, Walter Williams told you, everybody told you, but you guys don't want to hear what Moors are saying. You want to come trolling on our stuff, leaving bitch-ass comments about stupid stuff. And want to know why more. Why are you using vulgar language? Because you guys are bitch-ass niggers. That's why. That's why. Because either you're going to wake up and get real, or we don't hear nothing that you're saying. You don't have to hear nothing that you're saying. You're stateless. Don't care what stateless people say, especially when you've been told by the so-called people that you say is your master teacher or whatever. They already told you what's up. But you don't want to listen to them. Get the hell out of here. Not freaking hearing nothing from you guys. Right? We're using you. They weren't studying Circle 7 in Nubia. Nigger, you stupid nigga. How the fuck? How they studied some Circle 7? That Circle 7 came 1913. You tell me about how there was no Circle 7 in Kemet. You guys are stupid jackasses. And you're never gonna get my respect. Never. Especially talking that BS. And then on top of the BS, you don't have a nationality, you're stateless. Pfft. Keep sending your little trolling comments and you're gonna keep getting the FOH. If even Meta World Peace came out and said that he's a Moor on Canaanland Moors stuff. Came out and said, I call myself a Moor. Meta World Peace. And for the record, he's one of the dumb niggers. He himself says he's a dumb nigger. He doesn't have it all up here and all that stuff. You see him fighting people and all that stuff. He's a crazy man. Crazy Meta World Peace even knows that he's a Moor. And these conscious people are telling me BS. That I'm supposed to hear y'all? I'm supposed to listen to what y'all saying? We're supposed to take y'all people serious? We can't take you people serious. How are we going to take you people serious when you Moors are some of the dirtiest Moors out there? The conscious people. The conscious Moors. The conscious, unconscious Moors are some of the dirtiest Moors. Forget the dirty Moors that we know that they're more naturalized Moors and the 501c3 Moors. Forget them Moors. Because remember, everybody, once you got melanin, you're a Moor. And if you don't want to proclaim that you're a Moor, then you're dirty. Islam Moor.
Islam Moor, you doing the show?
Look, you can just say...
Apologies, big apologies. Hey, do your thing, man. I'm about to tune in. Then
you could just tell the Moors Islam since you got you here, because you know all the Moors.
Islam to all the family, Islam to all the Moors, all the active and non-active Moors. This is Supreme L down in the Maryland territory. So, hey, keep it up, big bro. Thank you for the food, chef. I'm feeling good. Every time I see you, I feel good. Do you think we're going to go try to tune in?
All right, Moor. Peace. Right? And that's for all the clown-ass Moors out there who want to talk about there's no unity amongst the Moors. How is there no unity amongst the Moors when Moors from Maryland calling Canaanland and Canaanland Moors calling Germany and Germany Moors calling Moors in the Netherlands and Netherlands Moors are calling everywhere. But there's no unity amongst the Moors. Get the hell out of here. You guys are stupid. And we're going to use you guys as a beating stick. We're going to keep using you guys as a beating stick. Come to Canaanland Moors trolling. Keep coming up here. Trilla Pro. Another one of these clowns. Right? Another one of these clowns. Canaanland Moors. Nationality means one country. No way are we all from one country. Tariq Bey tells you all this nationality mumbo jumbo, but teaches you that your nationality is Moor. We all are not from Morocco or Mauritania. Well, jackass, There's Moor, Mohr, in Germany. That's not Morocco or Mauritania, but those people call themselves Moors. And there's Moro in the Philippines. That's not Morocco or Germany, but those people call themselves Moors. And there's Maur in the Hieroglyphic Dictionary by E. Wallace Budge. And the Hieroglyphic Dictionary says that the Moors, Maur, were the high priests of Anu. And that's not Morocco or Mauritania, but those people call themselves Moors. So the one country that the Moors belong to is Earth, jackass. So keep playing games. Keep not being Moors, Triller Pro. Keep not being Moors. And we're going to keep calling you punks out for your incompetence. Because I'm done with you incompetent people. If you're incompetent, get the hell out of here. FOH. 50 times. FOH. GTFOH. Every type of FOH that there is, it's for all you incompetent people that want to leave these stupid ass stuff thinking that you're going to convince Moors that they're not Moors because you talk some BS. Right? Jared Williams. I get the feeling that if you look up top cults in America, these Moors and fake Masons are at the top, because the rest of history plainly teaches the Fez to be originated in Greece before being appropriated by Islamists. Now, how in God's name, if Islam predates Greeks, Islam predates Greece. If Islam predates Greece, how are Islamists appropriating Greek culture if Islam predates Greece? These guys are goddamn stupid. Then banned by the same Islamists. Then again proudly worn by Islamists. The Fez is also a Masonic regalia. As you yourself say, you are not Masons. What first-hand knowledge would you then have about anything that goes on behind those doors? We don't care what goes on behind no Masonic doors. Why don't you ask the Masons, why does your Fezes have Arabia on it, and ISIS, and Alhambra, and Shiva Shrine Club, and all these things that are Asiatic? Why don't you go ask the Masons that? But you're not going to go ask the Masons that. You're going to play your little BS game, right? You're going to play your BS, right? That's why, let me go just get something to put on the record, just so you guys could get slapped quick fast. Just slap you one time. And there's a reason why, right? There's a reason why I'm the Dirty Moor killer, right? There's a reason why, okay? I'm ordained to do this, right? All you lost jackasses. That's why I made the book. That's why I made the book. Just for you jackasses. All you jackasses who want to play this stupid game that Moors are stealing from Turks and Moors are stealing from Greeks and the Fez doesn't come from... Go get the book. Who stole the Fez, Moors or Shriners? Written by Grand Sheikh Kudro Adwo El. This is just for you jackasses. But of course you're not going to go support the book. You know, we already know that. So, you know, they don't need to even go there. We'll just call you guys jackasses. Keep telling you guys FOH, GTFOH, because, you know, we have zero shits to give to you guys. Zero. The shit bag's empty, so don't expect any shits. You don't care. You guys get the hell out of here. You know, and if you come around here with your little stupid ass comments and stuff, don't worry. We got some choice words for you jokers. You want to play around like Moors are incompetent. You think we're incompetent? Right? What lodge and shrine are you affiliated with? Your fezzes are blank. Yeah, our fezzes are blank because we're not in no freaking shrine. We're not in no lodge. We don't have to mark our fez. This is our birthright. This is called birthright. This is not called we joined some club to wear this. Go ask the Shriner. Hey Shriner, how come you guys have stuff on your stuff and then your tassel is tacked down like bitch ass nigger and the Moors tassel flows freely and they don't have any markings on their stuff? I thought that was you guys' stuff, Shriners and Masons and Freemasons and Scottish Rite and Klansmen, Dragon, whatever like that. You know, Eastern Star and all that stuff. How come? Well, you guys never gonna go question the Masons. Why? Because you guys fear the Masons. You guys fear them. Like the punks that you are. You know, you're never gonna go question them. You're gonna come question Moors. Like, right? Another clown, Khufu Heru, right? Khufu Heru. You know, Khufu Heru. Bet you. I put $100 on it, 100 fiat notes on it. That Khufu Heru doesn't have ID that says Khufu Heru. Bet you his name's Dave Franklin, some BS like that. Fronting on YouTube, social media, Facebook, Twitter, whatever like that. Khufu Heru. You're not no goddamn Khufu Heru because I know you don't have any ID to show that you're that. No different than the guy's dick that you're riding, Seti, Sarasutan Seti. He can't prove that his name's Sarasutan Seti with no ID or paperwork or nothing like that. All these guys fronting. When you go see their passport, because Seti came over here, Seti came to Toronto, so you know he has a passport. Bet you that his passport says some European name and under the signature, there's no reservation of rights on it. It just says a European name. That's it. Which lets me know that he doesn't know how to live within contracts. He doesn't honor his ancient foremothers and forefathers. He's just fronting to be some Seti. He's not no goddamn Seti. Just like you're not no Khufu Heru. And then you're going to talk BS. Seti laid the so-called Moor down during the last debate. Seti laid nothing down. What does Seti have better than Alim Bey at the debate? Pictures moving. That's it. Seti had pictures moving. Seti had a good presentation. His presentation. Seti's presentation was but his information was garbage. His information was 2 thumbs down compared to Alim Bey's information. Why we gotta back Alim? You know why we back Alim Bey? Because he's an author. That's why we back Alim Bey. Right? It not nothing to do with Moors. It has to do with scholarship. Find me a book that Seti wrote. Somebody please present me a book that Seti wrote on all this black BS that he's teaching people. All this Kemet BS that he's teaching people. Where's this book at? But we can show a book by Dr. Alim El Bey. And then Dr. Alim El Bey, he got his BA, ADD, DD, RMT, GS, GHP, PR, all this stuff because he's a scholar. You're not some nigger that started watching videos to be conscious. He's a scholar. All scholars have literature to prove that they're a scholar. And then, like he said, you want to challenge something? Refute all this stuff right here. After you refute this, then go to the website and refute everything on the website before you start talking about somebody won some debate around it. Right? You don't respect stateless niggers. You don't respect them. You have zero respect for them. And all these Moors who like going on those nigger stuff and befriending them on some, you know, yeah, you know, our brothers and stuff like that. There ain't no brothers. There's not no brotherhood. That's Conscious Mental Wrestling Federation. That's what that is. All the conscious mental wrestlers. Which some Moors are down with the Conscious Mental Wrestling Federation because all they want is to get some popularity. Have some videos, 50,000 views and stuff like that. We don't play 50,000 views. We don't play 8,000 views in 2 weeks. Right? We deal with quality over quantity. Right? We want strong men and women who know that their condition could be better and want to change their condition. We don't want people who want to stay niggers and want to get respected as with nigger mentality. Want to get respected as black mentality. Want to get respected as African mentality. Ain't nobody from the continent call themselves African, but you want to be respected as African. Get some of these. Get some of those. Because you guys are full of BS. You guys could play a little stupid game with your little crew, but don't be playing BS, right, with us. Don't be playing BS with us, because we don't play those ones. All you clowns are gonna get your what you're supposed to get, right? You're gonna get what you're supposed to get, right? This is not a troll. This is, you know, just a brother asking some questions. And this might be the last one. I have heard other Moors say that us as Moors need to stay out of the courtrooms. Yes, because they're not courtrooms, they're tribunals, they're auction blocks, and Moors do not need to be on auction blocks. The best way to not be on auction blocks is study, study, study. Stay your ass out of these occupiers' way because they don't play around. I would like to know if we are only supposed to engage the agents when they attempt to act ignorant by either giving traffic tickets or creating a case involving a straw man. Exactly. You do not, Noble Drawley told you, stop flashing your card at European. It causes confusion. The Moors want to flash cards at European like, you know, they owe you something. They don't owe you nothing. You abandoned your birthright 80 years ago by following these dirty Moors, naturalizing Moors, passive Moors, Moors calling themselves Sheikh, when you can't find me Shayk in any Noble Drawley literature, but you're gonna follow this guy calling himself Sheikh. Nowhere in Noble Drawley's literature are you gonna find Sheikh, but you know that's the #1 spokesman of Moors. Ain't nowhere you're gonna find the word naturalize in anything that Noble Drawley wrote. But those the Moors. We're gonna follow those Moors because you know they got toilet paper. How about those Moors wipe themselves with their toilet paper since they're dirty? Toilet paper. Like we can't get toilet paper. Like people aren't making, like people ain't been making toilet paper. Like that's something. You applaud Moors because they made toilet paper. How about a school? How about build a school? Freaking toilet paper. Get the hell out of here. Supposed to honor that? Toilet paper? That's what. If so, then what's your opinion regarding those Moors who are willing to challenge the agents regarding certain topics like property, etc.? Yeah, be what you know. Be what you know. Don't semi-know and try to be and then get caught up and start calling people down. Oh, you know, I tried to do, how do I get out of... No, why are you doing stuff that you don't know what you're doing? That's why Drawley said, study 3 times. There's a reason. Why would he say study 3 times? Back to back to back. Study, study, study. There's more studying after that, but we're going to stop at 3. Why? Because to cure you from the mental slavery that you have now. And then he said that in 1913 to 1929. And we still have mental slavery now in 2016, 100 years ago. Still have mental slavery? Still? Again, not to show your card. Kudro always reads the warning of Noble Drew Ali. I listen to every word, and I have always wondered, why is it that we must not show our nationality card, and why? Because cause confusion, because nobody else has one. It's really that simple. Everybody else got licenses, social security numbers, Indian tax cards, all given to them by the corporate state. Why do you think when Moors give their nationality card, the clerk takes nationality? Wow, I never seen this one before. Oh wow, look, it does the thing and the light and all that stuff. What do you think they're doing all that? Because they don't even know. With the vortex opens when Moors engage these people. And that's just from them seeing a black guy in a fez. And he's giving them a card on top of that. And it says all this stuff on it that constitutional. I thought this was a democracy. Republic? What do you mean republic? I thought republics were gone since 1800s or whatever. No, republic's still here. Because that's something that you invoke. But 9:03, you know what I mean? We started a minute late. You got your minute back. So, you want to say Islam to all the Moors. We just put a couple more out there. You know what I mean? Islam to Brother Cosmo L, who put this one up. The Moors in Zanzibar. And this says, Zanzibar, natives, type indigenes. Right? So the natives of Zanzibar, I guess the Turks came, or the Greeks came and gave them the fez, huh? I guess the Greeks gave them the fez in Zanzibar. The Greeks went to Zanzibar and gave the people who are native to Zanzibar the fez. I guess the Turks went and gave them the fez, huh? Oh yeah, and they're not Moors because, they're from Zanzibar, so they're not Moors. But they got fezzes on that they got from the Turks. You guys are stupid jackasses. Stupid jackasses. Proclaim your nationality. Oh yeah, we might as well get him on there so he doesn't feel neglected. You know what I mean? Islam to the greatest man to ever come to the Americas, Prophet Noble Drew Ali, to teach our people about their nationality and their birthrights. Supreme honors to this man, this great man that came to teach us. He didn't tell us to follow him nothing. Priesthood is dead, and he's a priest. And the priesthood is dead. He came to teach us. And he said new Moors are going to come with their eyes wide open, seeing and knowing, and they're going to carry out the law. And that's what's going on right now. The law is being carried out. The law is being carried out. So we want to send a shout out to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. We want to give praises to Allah. We also want to give shout out to the forerunner, Marcus Garvey, for coming and telling these Negroes, letting these Negroes know, right, that they're not going to be happy until they have a nationality. Until they're restored to their nationality. Not some fake stuff that they created or whatever, their nationality. Oh yeah, and this is from selected writings and speeches of Marcus Garvey that the Garveyites are never going to come show you because, and they start showing you that. When you start seeing what Marcus Garvey said or whatever, you're going to realize that people have been playing you, just like when you start looking up Moors. Oh yeah, and then don't forget the article, Noble Drew Ali returns after long visit in the South, where he went to visit Marcus Garvey, and then, this is Chicago Defender newspaper, and the Garveyites don't bring this up. All the Moor haters, they don't bring up this article. They're going to bring up postcard and say that postcard's fake, but they're not going to bring up the article though. They're not going to talk about the article, the newsprint, that talks about Noble Drew Ali returning after a long visit in the South and going to Atlanta Penitentiary to visit Marcus Garvey. There's his name right there. But they're going to say, they never knew each other and all that stuff. Oh yeah, and don't forget Mairu. Mariu. Also called Medek, Mariak, Sandy, Meda. Creatures of Basque mythology. They were giants who built dolmens. Like the dolmens, they are found in mountains. They are often associated with Lamia, though these are known in all the Basque country. Meru, M-A-I-R-U, means more. This term is used with the sense of non-Christian to refer to former civilizations or megalithic monuments. In parts of Spain, any ancient monument was popularly attributed to the age of Moorish domination. The origin of Mairu, M-A-I-R-U, is thought to be so old as the Moros Encantados. In Portuguese, Spanish, Moros Encantados, who are thought to be the remnant of old pre-Roman deities. They don't want to be Moors. They want to be the cosmic connection of the black whatever, but they don't want to be the Moros Encantados, the remnant of old pre-Roman deities. Noble Drew Ali brought us more than we could imagine. That's why he told the Moors, if I tell you everything, it turn your brain to water. Islam to all the Moors. Oh yeah, don't forget Blog Talk Radio. Blog Talk Radio 945. Where am I at? 945-5899. 347-945-5899. And oh yeah, message from Sister Anita. Food for thought. If you are eating and feeding your children meat, milk, and any milk-based dairy products from cows, you are eating and feeding your children corn that is registered as pesticide from the documentary GMO OMG. Corn that cows eat is registered as pesticide. Blog Talk Radio, 9:30 Eastern Time, 347-945-5899, blogtalkradio.com/MHHS-eyes wide open. And oh yeah, and Kudro, how come you're going so hard today? Don't blame me, blame the full moon. It's not my fault. Blame the full moon. 5 on the left, 2 on the right. Allah, Father of the universe, Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation by night and by day through his holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Ashe. Oh yeah, and I forgot. Allah, Father of the universe, Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation by night and by day through his holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Islam Moors, and don't forget to breathe. Peace.